Royal watchers, buckle up because the palace just played chess while everyone else was playing checkers. Picture this. Harry and Meghan drop their Netflix bombshell, extending their multi-million-dollar deal. And what does Buckingham Palace do? They don't fire back with statements or palace sources. Oh no, they do something far more brilliant. They shine a spotlight on a 105-year-old war hero and the royal who's quietly becoming their secret weapon. I'm your host, Adrian, and welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales, where the royal drama never stops. But today's story is about so much more than drama. We've got Duchess Sophie stealing hearts, the Invictus Games making major moves, Meghan launching her comeback, and a timing game so perfectly orchestrated it would make Shakespeare jealous. The question is, was this the most elegant royal response in history, or just incredible timing? Let's dive in and find out. So here's what happened. Just as the dust was settling from Harry and Meghan's announcement about extending their Netflix deal beyond September 2025, Buckingham Palace drops their first official statement. But here's the interesting part. They didn't address the Sussex announcement directly. Instead, they chose to highlight Duchess Sophie's incredible work. The palace shared stunning photographs of Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, during what I can only describe as a deeply moving royal engagement. She sat down with James "Jim" Wren, a remarkable 105-year-old Royal Marines veteran at his care home in Salisbury, Wiltshire. Now let me tell you about Jim's extraordinary story, because this is the kind of content that really matters. According to the palace statement, Wren survived the sinking of HMS Repulse in 1941 and was later a prisoner of war for 3.5 years, having been captured whilst escaping from Singapore in February 1942. Think about that for a moment. This man lived through one of the most harrowing periods in modern history. The HMS Repulse was sunk by Japanese aircraft in the South China Sea. It was a devastating blow to the Royal Navy. Jim not only survived that, but then endured 3.5 years as a POW. The resilience, the courage, it's absolutely incredible. And here's where it gets even more meaningful. The palace noted that Her Royal Highness is patron of the Java Far East Prisoner of War Club 1942. This isn't just a photo opportunity. Sophie has a genuine connection to these veterans and their stories. Now, the timing of this announcement is what's really interesting to me. While Harry and Meghan are making business deals in Montecito, the working royals are quietly doing what they've always done, honouring those who served, preserving history, and connecting with people whose stories might otherwise be forgotten. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is this the palace's way of responding to the Sussex Netflix news without actually responding? I think it's brilliant, actually. Instead of engaging in any kind of media back and forth, they're simply demonstrating what royal duty looks like in action. Sophie has become absolutely crucial to the monarchy's future. She's elegant, she's hard-working, and she connects with people in a way that feels genuine and unforced. While other members of the royal family have been dealing with various challenges, Sophie has quietly become one of their most valuable assets. And speaking of valuable assets, let's talk about what Harry's been up to with the Invictus Games, because there's actually some exciting news there too. Monday, the Duke of Sussex's Invictus Games organisation issued what they're calling a key update. And honestly, it's pretty exciting. They're asking the big question: who will host the 2029? They've released a list of cities where the next games are anticipated to take place, and let me tell you, the competition is going to be fierce. The Invictus Games have become such a powerful platform for wounded, injured and sick servicemen and women from around the world. This is actually where Harry shines brightest, isn't it? When he's focused on the Invictus Games, when he's working with veterans supporting military families, that's when we see the prince we all remember. It's his passion project, and you can tell it means everything to him. The Games have grown exponentially since their inception in 2014. What started as Harry's vision has become this incredible global movement. Cities around the world are now competing to host these games because they understand the impact, the inspiration, and frankly, the positive international attention they bring. I have to say, regardless of what you think about Harry's other ventures, the Invictus Games remain absolutely brilliant. It's his lasting legacy, and it's something that truly makes a difference in people's lives. Now, while all this royal news was swirling, Meghan decided to make her own announcement because timing is everything in the media game, isn't it? She revealed that With Love, Meghan returns on August the 26th with the tagline, "The best moments are made to be shared." This is interesting because it shows how Meghan is building her own brand completely separate from the royal narrative. She's not waiting for royal approval or timing her announcements around palace schedules. She's creating her own media moment, her own audience, her own platform. With Love, Meghan is her lifestyle show. And from what we've seen so far, it's very much in the Goop, Martha Stewart tradition, aspirational, lifestyle content with a focus on wellness, entertaining, and living your best life. The August 26th date is strategic too. It's right before the busy fall television season. It's when people are thinking about getting back into routines after summer, and it positions her content for the holiday season that follows. Before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something really important that connects all of these stories, the upcoming VJ Day commemorations. On Friday, August 15th, the Royal British Legion, in partnership with the government, will hold the national commemorative event to mark the 80th anniversary of VJ Day and the end of the Second World War. King Charles and Queen Camilla will attend the service of remembrance at the National Memorial Arboretum, and His Majesty will deliver an audio message to mark this historic occasion. This is why Sophie's visit with Jim Wren is so significant. VJ Day victory over Japan. Day marks the end of the Second World War, and veterans like Jim are living links to that history. When Sophie sits with him, when she listens to his stories, when the palace shares those images, they're not just doing royal duties, they're preserving memory, honouring sacrifice and ensuring these stories don't get lost. Jim was a prisoner of war in the Far East. He experienced firsthand the brutal conditions that POWs faced under Japanese captivity. His survival, his resilience, his willingness to share his story, that's precious beyond measure. So, what's my takeaway from all of this? I think we're seeing two very different approaches to public life playing out in real time. On one side, you have the working royals, Charles, Camilla, William, Catherine, Sophie, who are focused on duty, service and preserving traditions while adapting to modern times. They're honouring veterans, supporting causes, and doing the quiet, consistent work that might not always make headlines, but truly matters. On the other side, you have Harry and Meghan building their own media empire, creating content, making deals, and forging their own path in America. And honestly, both approaches have value. What I find most encouraging is that despite all the drama, despite all the headlines, the important work continues. Veterans are being honoured, stories are being preserved, and whether it's through the Invictus Games or royal visits to care homes, service and sacrifice are being recognised. That's all for today's episode of Meghan and Harry Tales. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. What do you think about these latest developments? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Adrian, and we'll see you soon.